I'm Dr. Nathalie Dalton-King. I currently work in Careers and Skills as the coordinator of the Undergraduate Research Support Scheme, URSS. The URSS is a two-part programme really. It provides bursaries for undergraduate students to provide their living costs to undertake a research project during the summer holidays. As well as that, it also provides a wraparound skills support scheme, so the students do their research and they're learning on the job, as it were, but that we also ask them to reflect on their learning, because more often than not they develop things like confidence and presentation skills and just general communication skills that they hadn't really thought about before they started. The URSS is open to any undergraduate student at Warwick, part-time, full-time, any department, virtually on the verge of failure through to high flyers. We really don't mind, and actually it can be good for them in any shape or form to do a project, because it just gives them another option and opens their eyes to things that are available. We have students wanting to go abroad, for example, and they can want to go anywhere: Jordan, Israel, Palestine, Afghanistan, Burma. We've had projects in the past looking at mason's marks on a Pontigny Abbey in France. We have projects from classics and ancient history looking at Roman coins. We have emergency medicine up in the medical school, and they go into the local hospitals, and over the past few years they've been looking at the advice hospitals give after head trauma victims come in. We've had student looking at the language used. A few years ago the government ran adverts telling immigrants to go home, and there was a student who went and looked at young people and how young people reacted to that and how it made them feel in their communities. A lot of students often as well do cross-disciplinary projects, so sometimes it's within the same area, so we have biologists working in the medical school and vice versa, physics and maths quite a lot, chemistry working with some of the doctoral training centres. All of this does make quite a good mix. So once all of the students, affiliates and URSS funded students, are all online, as it were, are all with us, the first task is to do a research page, a research portfolio, much like you'd see on a departmental page introducing academics and such like. Really useful for taking the information and introducing themselves to a future employer, to a future higher education institution, that kind of thing. We also, as part of the URSS experience, this skills development programme, we also have some postgraduate students who we employ as mentors. Mentors is quite a loose word in many ways, but we employ them to be that alternative support voice, so they're not to do with the project directly, they're not to do with the URSS directly. They are students themselves, they're going through a project, they understand things that happen whilst you're doing a project. They will help the student, they will comment on the posts they make in their reflective portfolio. They will encourage them to be more reflective, encourage them to develop their reflection skills, because that's part of the portfolio. A lot of people don't know how to reflect on a situation, and that's a valuable thing to take with you into employment and further study for that matter. They have to submit the task to the URSS in September-ish, September-October. Then they learn also to present a poster, to talk to other people who are interested, and it has to be cross-disciplinary. If a student is full-on physics, that can get a bit tricky to talk to somebody from history, for example, but that is a skill they need to learn, and it's really difficult to be able to translate your own specialist jargon into something that anybody can understand. A further benefit is that also that we encourage students to think about publishing. We work closely with WIHEA and the British Conference of Undergraduate Research, so that we say to the students, the abstract that we asked you to write about your research project, that's all we ask them to write except for the poster. You can then tweak that and use it to submit to Reinvention Journal or to any other more specific journal within your field, and we have had some really good research published in quite high level journals from undergraduates, not even from final year undergraduates, and that's quite a coup. We have students who also present at conference, again quite national, international conferences, as any other academic, not in a student conference. We are a significant contributor to the British Conference of Undergraduate Research and also ICA, the International Conference of Undergraduate Research, that IATL runs. So we get the students doing things with their research and not just doing a project and forgetting about it. And the real biggest challenge for me, in a way, is to say that if the project doesn't work, it's not a failure. You can still learn from it. You can still learn from something not working, and actually that often gives you the best form of learning.